Blessed evening, my champions. Let me begin by saluting you all over the world. Welcome to Live with Chatufa. The European Union condemns Mnangagwa influenced the Mozambican election process. This is just a slap right in the face of Emerson Mnangagwa and ZANU-PF when we begin to see the election results monitors and also those that were there to look at the process that was happening in Mozambique are now beginning to come out and speak about what has happened in the elections of Mozambique. While Mnangagwa influenced the Mozambican elections through also associating in the rigging process, as well as him being found to be the very first one to rush to want to congratulate the Frelimo for winning the elections even before the final results are announced. This already is an indicator that there is a lot that has been going wrong in the Mozambican elections. And when we look at this remains an embarrassment considering the fact that ZANU-PF also went through the very same process of a disputed election, an election that had irregularities, an election that was not endorsed by most of the organizations that were watching and also monitoring the process. So what we are looking at here is a situation where Mnangagwa has a slap in the face, especially this time around. That is the only president so far who had entered or publicly come out to give an announcement or a congratulatory message to the very people that we are talking about here. So this is the letter that has come from the election observers of the European Union, and they've indicated that there's quite a lot of irregularities that happened in the election of Mozambique. And they mentioned the issue of where figures were being altered at district level. They also spoke about irregularities during the counting process. Quite a lot of funny things that were happening during the time of counting in district places and the like, and quite a lot of other processes of election that did not go well. And this on its own is just a blow right to Frelimo as well as ZANU-PF, and of course all the other liberation parties who are garnering so hard that Frelimo would be given a win in this election. So we are yet to see the other reports that are coming from other observers that have been in the country. But generally speaking, we are seeing that this really is a law, especially for our own SADC countries, looking at a situation where SADC failed to deal with the situation that happened in the DRC. You still remember the DRC? There was also quite a lot of complaints that came out because of the election that happened in DRC. And people like Mnangagwa were the very first ones who quickly flew there to congratulate Tshisekedi, while quite a lot of havoc happened during the elections, with some of the machinery not working during the time of the election, the other polling stations also failing to open on time, as well as other people, many people finding their names not there in the voters' roll. And that was another chaos that happened in the DRC. Of course, not forgetting our own, the very Zimbabwean election that happened on the 23rd of August 2023, where there was a disaster, and this time around having been condemned even by SADC itself. And yet still we find that SADC fails again to stand its ground, to make sure that they follow their principles and the protocols. And that has continued to leave SADC, just like a toothless bulldog, and nobody will have faith in SADC anymore. And now they are again faced with yet another issue, which is at the hand right now as we speak, the Mozambican issue. Now we will need to see other bodies that have been in Mozambique. What are they going to be saying, including SADC itself? We want to hear the observers of SADC themselves, what report they are going to be giving here. And that is going to be very, very interesting. But of course, we know now who is the chair of the SADC protocols and politics and defense. It's now that woman from Tanzania, who happens to be one of the most corrupt ones. So obviously, because she's the one who took over the position of President Hichilema, so which means she appoints, she is the one who appoints the leader of the delegation that has gone to Mozambique for observing the elections. So we are yet to see. I don't think that Tanzania is going to go against the Brotherhood. They will obviously side with the Brotherhood and say the elections were free and fair, and they would give reasons and say, no, it's known that elections can't be perfect. There will always be here and there some issues that are not clear and things like that. But overall, they would want to endorse this election. But the battles are still on in Mozambique. Demonstrations are still on. Police are having running battles with the citizens, and they are looking like they are not giving up yet, because they are still demanding that this election was not free and fair. So we want to see how far these things are going to get to. But now the issue of now having people now beginning to be killed, now it's a problem for Mozambique. Mozambique should not be going the direction of ZANU-PF. That one is a wrong direction altogether, of wanting to kill people for political reasons. Just because somebody is a opposition member, they have to be shot down and killed. That one really will bring chaos to Mozambique. Mozambique is chaotic on its own already before we can talk about any other thing. Remember, there's these wars that are going in Cabo Delgado. We also have some pirates who are also there. We have some mercenaries in Mozambique who are fighting. These battles are over the issues of oil deposits and oil mines, and that is a lot. The government of Mozambique has not been able to deal with all those issues, and of course other issues that are concerning the administration of Mozambique as a whole. One of the countries that is the lowest educational levels is Mozambique. Most of Mozambicans can't even write their names, and it is so sad. There are people are uneducated. They never educated their people. They never came up with policies, that would really uplift the masses. And this is a situation that is very, very sad for Mozambique. One of the countries also that is supposed to be very rich. If you look at DRC, you look at Zimbabwe, you look at Mozambique, these are countries that are supposed to be very rich. Mozambique talks about oil. Imagine, oil is not a joke. A country that has oil must be really prosperous. And of course, DRC has quite a lot in terms of minerals, especially diamonds and the like. And Zimbabwe also having over 62 minerals that are on demand right now, the whole of the world. But these are countries that continue to, go through problems that are worse. But as for Zimbabwe, we are even much better, because we don't have like these rival groups, armed groups that are fighting, a war that you don't even know who is fighting it. It's like that situation which was during the time of the Liberation War, where there were Smith soldiers, there were also Mzorewa soldiers, Madzakzaku, there were also Selu scouts, there were also the comrades, also there were, it was just a mix-up. There was Zana, there was Zipra on the other side, and these would also at times shoot at each other. So it was just something like that. But when we look at our own context in Zimbabwe, it is only ZANU-PF that is a menace. We just have one party and a few individuals, after all, who are causing all these sufferings in Zimbabwe. So our situation, if we compare to Mozambique and DRC, our situation is much better. It can be solved if we get rid of ZANU-PF and Mnangagwa, and then we just arrest all those thieves. And I'm telling you, Zimbabwe will start to rise. Our situation is not the worst. That's why we are saying, let's continue to fight this battle, to fight this war, to make sure that things happen is according to the way that Zimbabweans are expecting. And that is one thing that we are fighting for, and it's definitely going to be happening. Freedom for Zimbabwe is coming. Koma Andrew is saying, good evening, Chatufa, Apostle Chatufa, and all chain champions. Thank you so much. Mbire is saying, my brother, how are you? And family, we are doing good. How are you also? Nessa Kaitano is saying, good evening, Koma Chatufa. How are you? Are you doing good there? Agnes is saying, greetings, family and brother Chatufa. Thank you so much. Home and away, troublesome Munu one your way, chairman. Chairman has a lot of skeletons in his cupboard. Good evening, Mr. Chatufa and all champions. Thank you, Gogomawire. Polly is saying, good evening, brother Chatufa. How are you doing? Mama June, thank you so much also for being here. Munashe, thank you for supporting this platform. My sister Lucia, how are you? I'm good. I'm doing great. Dynasty Zila, Judith Maregana, Sign is also here. Thank you so much for all the support. Gogo Cherwa is also part of us on this very platform. And thank you so much for uplifting this platform. This one of our channels that is our sister channels that we are trying to grow And I've told you, family, that this is a channel that we are going to be doing a lot of other stuff here that are going to be very exciting. We are going to move it from talking about the issues of Zimbabwe on and politics, but we'll be going into other issues like business coaching, like we're also going to be doing counseling. We are also going to be doing advertising and quite a lot of other things that we'll be doing on this platform. So it's going to be very, very interesting in the time to come. So for now, before we start, we just have to keep it alive, to keep it afloat by supporting it, by also subscribing to it and making sure that it does not die. And then, of course, we have the main channel, Chatuva Television Production. That one is flying. That one is going higher and higher. But otherwise, this is what it is, family. I thank you so much for joining me on the show. We are going to be crossing over to the main channel, and I have about 6 shows that I'm supposed to be doing, and we are going to be talking about those issues. Let's meet there and discuss on the issues that are happening in the nation. Very exciting news that we have and discussions to talk about. Thank you so much for joining me on this one. Remain blessed. Shalom. Let us meet on the other side. You are blessed.